as of today, it has been exactly 1 year since infants were added to The Sims 4, and this was one of, if not the biggest updates The Sims 4 has ever had, and maybe will ever have. If we take a little walk down memory lane, you might remember that for a long time, the only babies in The Sims 4 were trapped in those little bassinets, and for years, the #1 thing on most people's wish lists for this game was to have a baby update. Babies basically didn't even exist. They were just trapped in a little bassinet. You couldn't do anything with them. They were kind of just there. And back in the day when I used to envision what I expected out of a baby update, I mostly just wanted them to be free from the bassinet. Literally the only thing I cared about was being able to pick up the baby and like put it on the floor. I sort of pictured the babies being more like the Sims 3 babies, where they're still little burrito babies that can't do anything, but at least you can move them around. But then we got the infant update, and it wasn't just a baby update. They added an entire new life state to the game, which I think by far exceeded most of our expectations. Granted, my expectations were low because I didn't think we'd actually ever get this update at all. But in the big infant update day, they of course added the new life state. We got all kinds of new furniture and clothing for the babies. The new infants have a ton of new gameplay involved, and they also went back and tried to improve the bassinet babies. They changed them to be called newborns now. They made their faces a little bit better. They fixed the skin tone bugs we had with them. And if you have Growing Together, we got some more outfits for them. So overall, it was a huge update that just completely changed the earliest phases of your Sims life. Looking back on the Sims 4 base game when it first released now is absolutely wild. Because when the base game first came out, we had babies and we had children. There were no infants, there were no toddlers. They aged up from the bassinet and jumped straight into a child. Like literally jumped out of the bassinet and became a full-grown 10-year-old child. So it's just really weird looking back on that now that there's 2 additional life states in between. The Sims 4 has improved a lot since it first came out, but there's still quite a few issues, which is kind of what I want to talk about today. I'm half celebrating infants and I'm half making fun of infants in this video, because the infant update was one of the most exciting days of all time in the Sims community. It was a complete game changer and we were all really happy about it, at least at first. And then we very quickly realized that infants are extremely buggy, and they still are to this day, a full year later. Infants are difficult to take care of by design. Like, it's not meant to be easy to care for these little things. So yes, they just are hard to play with, but the real issue is that your Sims don't want to take care of them. I'm sure we've all had these experiences many times now where you're like trying to bathe an infant and they just won't do it. They kind of like stand there holding the kid in front of the tub, or maybe you want to feed the baby and they just keep picking it up and putting it back down and not actually giving it the bottle. Or maybe for some reason the Sim is just happily playing on their little playmat and the adults just pick it up and put it on the floor and then pick it up and put it on the floor again, and they just keep doing the same interactions over and over and not actually doing what you're trying to queue up for them. Yeah, because of that, infants are really difficult to play with, and that is not by design. I actually spent a while filming a 7 infant challenge before I started filming this part of the video, and I got so frustrated that I had to stop. And that's the nature of the challenge, I'll admit that. Like, trying to play with 7 infants, I had it coming. It's basically impossible when you have this many Sims in a household and this many infants specifically, because they keep getting so distracted. And I'm sorry about the crying, but you try and take care of the kids and they just non-stop try and do something else. I'll like try and queue up an interaction to feed one of them and they'll just pick it up, put it down, grab a different one, and they don't do what I want them to do. So it's really hard to keep all of their needs taken care of. There are ways to slightly mitigate this. Like, for example, if you don't put it on triple speed, it oftentimes has a little bit easier of a time. Triple speed often confuses the Sims. It causes some simulation lag. That's why they end up just like standing there in front of things a lot of the time. You may have encountered that before in like a regular household with no infants, where you're trying to get them to go to sleep and they're just like standing in front of the bed, or you're trying to get them to woohoo and they just kind of stand there looking at each other and they don't go to the bush that you tried to queue up. And I feel like that issue becomes 10 times worse with infants, to the point where you can't even try and have the adult Sim be the one to queue up interactions. It's easier if you have the baby be the one to ask for things, because the adults just can't be trusted. So you have to play as the baby and then have them ask to get a bath and have them ask to be fed. It's why at this point, I don't really like to have my Sims have twins anymore. I pretty much only want to have one baby at a time. It's always been hard to have twins, but now with the infants, it's almost impossible to care for 2 at once because the Sims keep getting confused and trying to autonomously queue up interactions with the other baby. It's like better to turn autonomy off because it makes it easier to control them. It's really silly how bad the infants are to play with. I don't really know what they could do to improve that. I think that there's levels to it because half of the issue is just the simulation lag, and that's kind of a problem across the whole game. So they need to work on that first, but maybe some tuning is in order for the infants. I'm no game designer. I don't know how it works behind the scenes. All I know is it's a problem and it's been a whole year and there's not been any improvement. That is unfortunately kind of a theme with The Sims 4 right now, where we have these like long-standing bugs that exist forever without any improvement, and then new ones get introduced and those stick around too. To give another example, think about things like the plants. Gardening, the entire gardening skill has been completely bugged for years and it just never gets fixed, or they'll fix one part of it and a new issue gets introduced. It's so bad. My intention with this video is not to sit here and complain and just like completely rank on the baby update, but it is important to discuss the state of the game sometimes when things like this come up. There actually are a lot of things about the infant update that I really love that they did. I'm gonna talk about things like the high chair, but look at how ridiculous these cheats are that I have to enter first. Because I have growing together, we have to get the milestone to sit up. Let me cheat some of my own needs real quick too. But some of the details around infants, especially if you have growing together, are really cool. You can just tell there was a lot of thought and a lot of detail put into this. There's a whole thing where you can have them try their first baby food, and when you click on it, there's like a bajillion options, and it tells you if they haven't tried it, if they liked it, if they didn't like it. So you can kind of experiment with the food and find things that the kids love. This is one of those additions that I never expected them to add. I really didn't see this coming, but I'm so glad that they did make this, because what a cute detail to be able to try food for the first time. I will say that if you have growing together, you probably don't see this very often, because if you're like me and you play on short lifespan, I don't really get that many milestones all that often. I get some, but it's like you don't usually get to the point where you can try food that quickly. Oh, I liked mango. I agree with that, actually. I stand by that. I do like mango. It's also fun to have a reason to use the high chair, because before this, we all know I never use the high chair. I usually feed my toddlers on the floor. I just bottle feed the infants. Like, it's rare that I use the high chair. And in the update, they tuned the high chair to make it a little bit better, and then they added this whole feature. So it really gave a whole new life to this silly base game thing that I previously just found annoying. But that's like kind of the only base game thing about infants that's interesting, which I guess poses a whole other problem, because the infants can't really do that much in the base game. They can like scoot around, they can hold toys, they can be given new foods to try, but all of the really cool stuff for infants comes with growing together. So you kind of have to have the pack for it to be fun for you. All of the milestones come with growing together, and these milestones are extremely detailed. That's why I had to put in all of those ridiculous cheats, because your Sims, until they learn how to do these things, they can't use them. So previously, my Sim self couldn't sit up, so I couldn't have sat in the high chair to try the food, but once I learned how to sit up, then I could. Right now, she can't crawl, so she wouldn't be able to get anywhere by herself, but she could learn how to crawl and then be able to. She has to be taught how to reach and grab, and then eventually she can like hold finger food herself. So there's a very realistic path to the kids learning how to exist, which is pretty cool. This is way more detailed than anything I ever expected to see out of The Sims 4. And then probably the best part about growing together is the infant quirks. So every infant will get different quirks that they'll spawn. They're kind of like traits. So each baby ends up being a little bit different. I have a good appetite. I love wake up time, and I'm a snuggly sleeper, apparently. Some of the others hate being held. They're gassy. They're a self-soother. This one's a happy spitter. So they spit while they feed. The word feed, by the way, is absolutely vile. That's horrifying. Vlad's an early riser, which actually is kind of weird. I don't know if that checks out, but it's pretty cool because every infant you play with ends up being kind of different. And I gotta be honest, at this point, growing together has kind of become a must-have pack for me. It's become one of my top favorite packs out of all of them, just because of how cool it makes infants be. I don't really want to go back to playing without infants anymore. Having milestones just completely changes everything. And I suppose, depending on how you look at it, that's maybe a bad thing about infants as well, because they released this base game update that's really amazing, but then they added so much more for it in this pack that came out at the exact same time. So they were kind of like taunting us with it. Like, oh, you get infants, but you get half of infants. If you want the rest of it, you gotta pay me $40. So they were kind of taunting us with it. They were like, oh, you get infants, but only half of infants. If you want the rest of it, then you have to pay us $40. So yikes about that. And also there's not that much casts for infants. I know it's difficult because they have to go in and like make an entire new set of casts. So they actually did make quite a bit of Create a Sim stuff, but it always sucks when the update first comes out and there's like nothing for the babies. They've been working on that. They've been trying to add some things in the packs that have come out this year, and they'll probably keep doing it, but I wish that we had a little bit more as far as Create a Sim goes for the babies. I'll be really curious to see what else they add in future packs for them as well, like gameplay wise, because for now, the vast majority of the infant gameplay just comes from growing together. Obviously, we got the changing table, we got the infant playmat, which people were really upset about. They were, I think, rightfully mad that those two kind of fundamental things are locked behind the paywall, but it makes you wonder if they'll add anything else infant dedicated that is stuck behind packs. Kind of like how toddlers got the toddler stuff pack and we had a whole set of playground equipment, literally like a giant set of playground equipment. I'd be curious to know if they'd make like an infant stuff pack. I don't know if that would go over very well because we already have Growing Together and that's like a whole infant expansion pack. And I hate to say it, but they could probably do an infant kit, like nursery furniture or like maybe infant cast, like some more clothing. And I think people would really like that. I would like that. Obviously, I would prefer for it to be in the base game, but we know how The Sims 4 is. So overall, I guess the takeaway here is that I am really, really grateful for this update and really excited about it still. I almost can't believe that it's been a whole year since it came out. Of course, it has its issues. Every part of The Sims 4 has its issues, but this was such a groundbreaking change for the game. It's almost a completely different game now if you play with families a lot, and I think it's pretty cool that literally 10 years post-release, they're still making massive changes like this to the game. In the past couple of years, they've really been hearing community requests and like releasing all these things we've been asking for so long. Now, if only they would hear our community requests to fix a lot of these major game-breaking bugs. I know it's not as easy as it sounds, like the game is just old, there's so many underlying problems with it, but like, oh my god. If I could just feed the baby in peace, that would be fantastic. I'm really curious to hear your thoughts about infants a year down the line. Do you like them? Have they grown on you? Are they worse than you thought they would be? I'd love to know how you're feeling, because I think that I feel all three of those things. I think that I like them. I think that I've been enjoying it more than I thought I would, but also they are so buggy and frustrating. So let me know down below what you think. And now I'm gonna cut to a little bit of me playing the 7 infant challenge and suffering through it to the point where I had to quit because it was actually unbearable. So let me just go back to past Simsie for a second and show you how we got to this point. So the goal today is to celebrate the infant update, but also to kind of put it to the test. I'd like to see if things have improved, if maybe I have improved because the update's been out for a while and I've got some more practice. And we are going to reattempt the 7 infant challenge. I made some mini versions of some classic townies. First, and probably most importantly, we've got Nanny Crumplebottom here, and then we have me as a baby. We've got Eliza Pancakes, who is also kind of like me as a baby. We have Bob Pancakes. I made Vlad into an infant, and I gotta be honest, this is so scary. I just got real Vlad and aged him down, and I have never seen anything more horrifying in my life. He looks like a grown adult man. It's really creepy. But Vlad's here. We got Jeffrey Landgrab, we've got Nancy Landgrab, and then we also have Bella Goth, all as babies. I don't expect this to go well. I have tried this a couple of times, and none of the times has it gone well. But now I've had like 69 babies in my 100 baby challenge, so I'm a little bit more practiced. I did also slightly renovate my house. This is the, oh, what's happening? Why do you have the carrier on still? This is the house that I built for the Growing Together pack. Oh my god. Look at it moving. Oh, I can't. But I did do a couple things like change it into a baby room. We only have 6 of each, but I figured that was probably not that big of a deal. I don't anticipate us needing to have 7 cribs all at once, but maybe I would be better off getting another one just to be safe. It looks bad. It looks real bad. It wasn't made for this. I also deleted the staircase. There's just like an empty room up there. Ignore it. Ignore it. This is about babies, not about anything else. You actually cannot get them inside of the room. That's like half the problem, is that I can't get get them in there. What? I reset and now the kid's out here again? Oh my God. Okay, no triple speed, 1 time speed. Bring them all in there, 1 at a time. Oh, Vlad is gassy. That's kind of cute. What are you doing? Okay, she's picking up the next one. Once they're in here, it won't be that bad, but this is literally half the battle. Half the battle is just picking them all up. Okay, do me next. Put me in there. Well, do you want to try and like look at some toys? Maybe I could try and get you some milestones. This is how I play the baby challenge. I just keep their queues full. Now, I don't understand why she keeps going and just sitting down over there. Like, what do you think you're gaining from this? It's because she stops and tries to clap for them. Oh my God. Okay, they're all starting to get tired and hungry and stuff. So we're in a really bad situation because I still don't even have them all inside. Bob Pancakes, you're last. Oh, but you're asleep. Should I let him be? No. Carry him inside. You can do this. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. Oh, and there's a heat wave. We just can't catch a break. I gotta get a thermostat. Every single kid is officially inside of the house. So that's step 1. Next step, I'm gonna see about trying to get fed. I'll just worry about the ones that are awake because not all of them are awake. That's the wrong one. Why would you pick that one up? Oh my God. Do you understand what I mean? They're impossible. It's impossible. Now, please don't read into this, but I am making her feed me first. That was intentional. I gotta make sure I'm good. I don't know. I actually don't know if I can do this. The crying is already getting to me and it's been like 2 minutes. I don't know if I can handle it. I did learn that you don't really have to feed all of them like that much. They're usually pretty okay being left for a while. Like this one, it says becomes food now in 3 hours, but you kind of have like 24 hours until you have to feed him again. I also anticipate that bath time is not really gonna work for us. I don't really expect me to be bathing anybody. I gotta stop doing triple speed. It's just that I keep being like, hurry up, take care of them. But when you put it on triple speed is when they get problems because it causes simulation lag and then they just stand there and don't do anything. Look at me. I'm laying there so grumpy. Just sleep. She's trying to. In the past, I've had to hire people to help me with the kids, and I think we may be in that situation again this time, but we'll see how long we can last. You might also be noticing, Kayla, you have no changing table. Yeah, that's intentional. That is so on purpose. Changing tables are bad. They slow us down. We just gotta bathe them. It's fine. Otherwise, you have to like do both, and that's worse. Changing table is like fun for the vibes, but not fun for the challenge. All right, we're getting somewhere. I fed almost all of them. There's just 2 left. Bella Goth and Bob Pancakes that haven't eaten yet. We can also sell all the bottles, so that's a win. We're making some good money. It's not fun, but we're making money. Oh God, this one too. Never mind. Nanny's gonna have to take care of herself in a minute. She's getting hungry too. I feel like as long as most people are fed, we're fine. Oh, Nanny's gonna pee her pants. Uh-oh. It was a matter of time. We knew it was gonna happen. It's okay. You did, the baby's right there and you just peed. That's pretty rough, but it's okay. I think I'll serve an assortment of food. I don't plan on cooking. Like there's no way we're gonna have time. So I got this thing for us and I figured we could just get our food this way and then never actually cook anything. And I'll make her eat and then watch the TV and then maybe I'll sleep for a bit while they're asleep. Oh, there's one crying. I don't know what it wants. It's hungry again? This is the problem. They're always hungry. How are you supposed to take care of yourself? Oh, I think I just woke them with my TV. Oh, now they're all crying. Oh my God. First blowout. 3 of them just pooped. 4 of them pooped. No, ignore them. Ignore them. Go to sleep. They'll be fine. They'll be okay. Most of them have fallen asleep. Nanny, no. Go back to bed. Persistent infant crying is making her tense. I have never related to anything more. Nanny, you have to sleep longer. Oh, she changed a diaper. I think every single one of them has pooped their pants. We don't need to worry about that. We need to handle the food thing first. That's like #1 priority. And we have to take care of our own needs because if Nanny passes out, we're not going to be doing okay. Oh. Look at my Sims! Oh no. Okay, Nanny, I'm gonna reset you. Let's see if this helps. You gotta go 1 at a time. You're gonna go in order and you're gonna feed them 1 at a time. Do you understand me? 1 at a time. Nanny! That's not, oh my God. Sometimes I think that maybe we never should have had the infant update. And I mean that. Sometimes I regret this. Why? See, she just picked that one up and put it on the floor. Why? When it's screaming, crying for food, why would you just pick it up and then immediately put it back down? In what world does that make any sense? The infant update is so bugged. I think it's because she's so overwhelmed by trying to care for all of them that she like stops. She like is being pulled in 7 directions. So she's just like, I don't know what to do. And then gives up, which I get, like, wow, me, you know, but it's so annoying when you're trying to play the game and you have them doing that. I think we need to hire help. I don't think I can do this. I was trying to, I gotta pause it for a second too. I can't handle it. I'm gonna hire a nanny. We need like nanny #2 because otherwise I just can't. If we want them to be bathed, there's no way. Okay, the nanny's coming at 5:41 a.m. I told you to feed Bella. Oh my god, because she fell asleep. They all cried so long that they're asleep now. Should I wake one up or should I bathe this one? This one's me. Maybe I'll bathe this one. Nanny Mori, oh my god, it's nice to see you. Welcome in. Let's see if we can get fed. Why did I bathe that one? This is the only one that's gonna be happy. I made a huge mistake. I think that this kind of speaks to a general bigger issue in The Sims 4, which is that there's always problems. Like every pack, every update, there's always something that is buggy. And especially when they try and add major new features like this, it's never quite right. It's always just a little bit of a mess. And so I guess I'm not surprised that the infants are like this, but I don't know. And I also think it's not fair of me to sit here and complain about them when I'm trying to do 7. Like, there's bound to be issues when I'm trying to have this many. But still, the point still stands. Can you not get fed by her? I haven't even lasted a day. It's not been a full 24 hours yet. At least with help, oh, the kid just peed on me. At least with help, I'm managing to make it a little bit further. Like the kids are mostly fed now. Oh, here, you use the bathroom and shower. Let's take care of ourselves. I wonder if the nanny will like autonomously feed anybody. Oh, she's doing something. Oh, she is feeding one. Do you think it'd be better if I just let her do it? We're gonna have to sleep. Okay, the first ones are getting hungry again. So that's a new problem. Oh, not the storm. It's gonna start thundering. I'm gonna get scared. Okay, everybody's asleep in a crib, which is somewhat of a miracle. Oh, not that one. Put me down. Put me back. Oh, he's getting a bath. You know what? Consider yourself lucky. Kyle wants to come? Oh, come on over, Kyle. You can take care of the babies. That is fine. If you want to be here, then so be it. I'm not going to be mad about that. Who needs fed the most? Probably me. Kyle. This is a 3 adult job. It's the only way. You almost need 2 adults for 1 infant, let alone for 7. Great, now the baby's scared. That's terrible. Oh my god, they're all starting to wake up again. I cannot. I actually can't do this. It's not even fun. Like, why am I doing this? The non-stop screaming. Well, Nanny's fully rested. She's feeding a baby right now. I'm gonna let her like eat some food and watch TV after this. You want me to join your party house? I can't. This is basically a party house. There's a million people here. Oh, I'm being left a fortune. I'm not getting married for money. I'm sorry. I've got other plans. A lot of interesting calls today. Okay, this one's gonna starve. You gonna feed that one, Kyle? Yeah, I think you get the point though, right? Like doing the 7 infant challenge, having this many kids, it's so cursed because the game is just kind of bugged. I don't even know what they could really do to improve this. I guess helping with the simulation lag and them just like standing around, that's probably the #1 priority because that's an issue across more than just infants. But maybe trying to tune their autonomous behavior, because I think that them getting overwhelmed and just like putting the kid down and picking it up and putting it down, that's half the issue. So maybe if we could try and work on improving that, it would help. I am not a game developer. I just play The Sims, so it's not my job to fix it, nor do I know how to fix it. I'm just throwing out ideas. I think it wouldn't hurt if they maybe tried to tune this just a little bit more though, and the fact that they haven't makes me feel kind of scared because it's been a while and it's always been this way. Yeah, I think this is a good stopping point. I'm gonna end the video right here. We don't need to see any more of this. We've had enough of the 7 infant challenge. But if you do want to see more of this 7 infant challenge, I've done it a couple times on YouTube. The first time was when the update first came out and it was really bad, and the second time was later on when I was more practiced. But I can link those down below for you in case you want to go back and see. Happy birthday to the infant update, and I am gonna go and I'll catch you all tomorrow. Okay? Bye everybody. I'm sorry you all, this video is a complete and total mess. I've been recording all day and it just did not go according to plan. But at least I'm self-aware, right? At least I know it's a mess.